Hello everyone, and welcome to another 12 FPS. I'm Vamp, and today I'll be playing my depressed demon sleeper, and I'm joined today by the lovely and wonderful.
I'm Oatmeal. Thank you, and I will be playing the professor, who's very nosy. Uh,
And I would like it noted that we both of us have only the barest bones of a plan. So let's see how let me ha- let, let's see how it goes.
yeah. Um, you want to tell me where Sleeper is?
Right now, probably in the Layton house, in the rafters.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, that is where Professor expects him to be. The sort of preface for this is that in Moria's aberration investigation chat, both Professor and Sleeper are there, and Sleeper made a comment about being very old, particularly being older than time. And when questioned, he said he was being serious. Uh,
Yep.
the professor is not cool with that for cultural reasons. But this
Nope.
this this has made him very annoyed. Um,
Yep, and he couldn't even follow up with questions because Sleeper, if I recall correctly,
fell
went
asleep.
right back to sleep after that.
Absolutely. So, um, instead, he's going to go. Instead of trying to text him, he's going to go right to the source. He's going to the Leighton Plus household. So, honestly, at this point, he probably just lets himself in. Um,
Yeah, yeah,
and
Professor, you might as well also live here.
yeah, but he
Does he have a key? Does he have? Does the professor have a key?
no, I think he'd just use like uh he'd either all
Does
right.
he
I should either roll lockpicking or have him cast knock. Um, on
roll lockpicking? That would be funny.
okay, I'll do that first. Uh, all right, that's unreadable. Let's try this again. Okay, that's am I proficient? I'm pretty sure I am.
You're a
Yes.
rogue, right?
I am not. I'm a bard. I do have proficiency with this though.
Oh, good.
Do I add my sleight of hand or just a roll in proficiency?
I think lockpicking is dexterity and proficiency.
Oh,
I
okay.
should act like one of the rogues in the server.
It probably is. I'm gonna go with that. 9, 10,
Yeah,
11,
we're gonna
12,
go with that
13,
anyway. I'm
14.
just curious enough now.
All right, 15. Oh, don't put it in
I
the
feel
wrong.
like that would be enough. I feel like that would be enough to lockpick the front door of the Layden household.
Mm.
And the professor hears a click. It's all just easy and squeaky clean, and the professor did not break the lock, which would have been a whole other issue.
Yes.
So, Professor, you let yourself in, and I'm not going to god mod and say like where anyone is in the house, but for
Mm-hmm.
the sake of this FPS, let's say that the living room is empty.
Yeah, they are occupied. Um,
Okay. The living room is empty as far as you can tell, but
mm-hmm.
if you look up, which would the professor know to look up? Has he ever like visited the
Yes.
house with was there?
Yeah, when he visited, I think we mentioned uh, in one of the FBSs when he came back that like he
Oh
glanced
yeah,
up
I remember
and
that one.
he was there,
Yeah,
but he
the one
was
where he
asleep,
was.
so he was like, "All right, this is fine."
Yeah, I think I remember that one. The
Uh huh.
professor like glimpsed it in the rafters, but was like, if he's asleep, he's not following the conversation.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So yeah, he's there.
Yep. Uh, so, first he's going to just, call up there. Hey.
And I'm gonna roll. What would it be to see if he stays asleep?
Stays asleep. Con, I guess?
Oh, great, this con sucks.
Oh.
Let's see. I would laugh if, even with a negative, he still rolled a high number. That's a 10. I think he stays asleep, but he visibly, like, his face visibly, like, scrunches up, and he makes, like, that cat noise of being disturbed in his sleep
Mm-hmm.
before rolling over like, so his back is facing the professor.
Mm-hmm. In that case, Professor is going to, let me just make sure I have all my spells reset from the last time. He's going to, Misty Step, up to the rafters and just, like, sit on one very close to Sleeper's face. Hello?
Mm. Go away.
No. Um, what did you mean when you said you were older than time?
That does have him opening his eyes, and he blearily squints at Professor, and you can like track the realization cross his face of, oh, it's not one of the boys or Azumi or
Mm-hmm.
Arata that's like trying to wake me this time.
Mm-hmm.
I vaguely recognize you.
He's been in the
And
house, but
yeah, like it's that thing where he's like, oh yeah, I remember you coming through and like visiting a lot.
mm,
Never held a proper conversation with you though.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he's just glanced at the professor. Like, what?
You said a while ago, uh, in the group chat, that you were older than time. What did you mean by that?
All right, right. Yes, why are you asking this?
Because I want to know.
A good solid, has it been a month after it happened?
Oh, probably.
Well, I said I was older than time because I was older than time. I hope this answers your questions. And he says it in a manner that like he's stating the obvious, like, yeah, that's why I said I'm older than time, because I am older than time.
Mm-hmm. Professor's face, like, scrunches in distaste. uh, I don't think you're actually older than time.
All right. And he just kind of like rolls over like and waves a hand at the professor like, whether you believe me or not is your prerogative. Try not to stir up too much dust when you jump down.
He's going to, uh, he's going to, like, I think get a little closer and try to use his true sight, because he knows that one of the things that he can detect with that is, a rough estimate of how old someone is.
Oh god, the garbage truck is passing by.
Yeah.
Alright, they're gone. Anyway, alright, so
So I
how do
have
you
to.
usually flavor his fruit pie? Like,
Well,
how do you
I have to
usually.
roll. I have to roll to see if it's even working.
Alright, now
It
it's not.
is working. Now I have to roll perception to see how well he's able to see. Not well. That's a 10.
Oh,
But it
alright.
is. but it is like working. But like,
It's
yeah.
I'm I'm gonna say that like the true side like procs, but I'm gonna say like it's kind of like prof is trying to look at sleeper through like have you ever had your glasses like fog up when you open up your
Mm,
rice cooker or whatever else that
yes.
steams?
Yeah, yeah.
Like you can vaguely make out like the general shape of it, but not any finer details. So you can definitely make out that Sleeper's like older than like Immortal, but you can't like make out like a general estimate.
Mm. So he gets a look of like older than he's used to seeing. Uh Probably a good like uh 10 like several tens of thousands years old, something more than that, but no, nothing beyond that specificity.
Like definitely in comparison, he's definitely a lot older than like anyone else in this house.
Oh, for
But
sure.
you can't like Professor can't really like validate Sleeper's statement because he rolled a 10 on perception.
Yeah, yeah. He knows he's very, very old, but he does not know if he's older than time. Um,
Yeah.
oh, here's a question. Well, he did still get a 10, but, would he perceive the original form of a shape changer, is a thing? Would he
Oh,
get
then
anything
that's
from that?
hmm. He's not shapeshifted right now. So
Oh.
no. Sleeper's form stays the same.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like the only difference might be that like I'm trying to think of a way to like describe it. His form is the same. He's not shapeshifted right now.
Mm-hmm.
This is for all intents and purposes his true form.
Mm.
But like under true sight, like it definitely has like a more otherworldly edge to it.
Mm-hmm.
Like very much a yeah, this is not a tiefling.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Huh. Um,
But also that is a 10. I'm sorry, Professor.
oh yeah, no, that's valid. Um, let's see. What is he going to do? I think uh he's going to um he's going to poke his face um and cast detect evil and good uh and ask um where are you from originally?
I I am enjoying the fact that Professor is just like straight up like casting spells on this man.
That's what most of his spells are good for, is finding stuff out.
All right, let me look up Detect Evil and Good
I
real
have it.
quick.
I have it right here.
All right, I'm pleased to tell you that Sleeper is mechanically a fiend type.
Mm.
So yeah, there is a fiend 30 feet from you.
Yeah. All
Yeah,
right.
that one you could have probably guessed, Professor.
Yeah. No, that's not a surprise. um.
Yeah. Although, hmm. No, but he is a fiend. Like, I don't think with Detect Evil and Good you would be able to catch this.
Mhm. Yeah. No, that's
Yeah,
fair. I think
but
even what's her face? God, the fallen angel from Baldur's Gate, Avernus. Or wait, no, that's the name of the
yeah,
place. Whatever. The lady's name. I think she counts as a fiend mechanically. So.
yeah, that's why I'm like, I think, yeah, I don't think you would be able to pick up any Celestial because, like, he is a fiend right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. But, like, when the professor asks where he's from, Sleeper kind of noticeably tenses up a little, and he turns his head to look at the professor again, but this time, like, he looks a lot more like standoffish than he was. Seems like
Mm,
this might be a little bit of a sore subject, and he's just like, "Why do you want to know?"
because I'm trying to figure you out. Don't worry, if you're from
Hmm,
hell, I don't care, but.
fine, let's go with that.
No, that's not. You can't just go with that. Where are you from?
I'm sorry, Professor. Professor. I'm sorry, he just really wants to know, huh?
Yeah.
And Lever just kind of like fixes him with a dry look and is just like, hell, didn't I just say?
You just said that because I said that.
Oh, and are you like second guessing your sources now? You think you know where I'm from better than I do?
Professor's gonna cast Sword of Truth.
Oh my god. He, hey, what spell level is Zone of Truth?
Um, uh, let me see. It is, second level.
Yeah, Sleeper cast counter spell.
Can I counterspell the counterspell?
Sleeper kind of like makes a face and it's just, do you don't you know that it's rude to cast spells on people without their consent?
Yes.
Yes. Glad that we have this talk, and he's going to dimension door out.
Oh. Is there any, professor's gonna look around and try to figure out if there's any clue as to where he's gone.
Roll perception.
Uh-huh. Oh, alright. That's
This
pretty
is going
decent.
so well. The professor really be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna cast Zone of Truth on this complete stranger, huh? Yeah, you heard a thunk from above, like, he might be in the attic.
Ooh. Well, he has a rough idea of that location, so he is also going to Dimension Door up there. Let me just
Has
make sure I'm
Professor ever
actually
gone
using these
into the
spells.
attic?
I don't think so.
Dare I ask you to roll, like, something to see if, like, you just, like, you're gonna make it to the attic. I'm just, like,
Mm.
wondering if you would trip over something.
Oh, yeah, very fair. Maybe like a dex or something?
Yeah, sure.
Alright. Oh, I got a nat 1. Okay.
All right, so Professor, you've never been to the attic, but like you know the general location. So you and your like impatient, curious glory decide to teleport up there, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so you teleport up there, and you do make it to the attic, but you teleport right in, right on top of a precariously stacked pile of boxes, and bring it all down on you.
Ah. Okay.
And Sleeper, who was like curled up like in the corner of the attic, about to go to sleep again, kind of like jolts awake with a yowl, and then like winks at you. I'm
Hello?
not putting those back again.
Fine. I didn't ask you to. He gets up.
You better be putting them back again.
Yeah, yeah. Um,
Great. Well, you're doing that, and Sleeper makes to stand up and leave again.
hey, come on, stop.
You cast Zone of Truth on me without even asking. I have no obligation to listen to what you have to say.
Could you just answer a few questions?
And perhaps I don't want to answer them.
That's fine.
I'm just imagining Professor saying that's fine through gritted teeth.
Yeah, basically. You don't have to like it.
And you are you hearing yourself?
Uh,
He's kind of like side eyeing the professor now, like he's not sure if the professor will just like lasso him or something.
uh-huh.
Which is a fair assumption considering the kind of things the professor has been saying.
Mm-hmm.
Look, if this is about the whole trying to making sure that I'm not a threat to the children, that
No.
detective has already gotten you to it.
No, I don't. That's not. He just like waves his hand like that's not part of this at all. I don't. I. You wouldn't be here if you were a threat to them.
Ominous.
No, I'm just. I know how many other overprotective people live around here.
Ah, yes, and he does like when Professor says that he does look like marginally amused. So if not that, then what? Just your own curiosity?
Essentially.
And this is bothering you so much you're willing to zone of truth me without asking?
Yes.
Sounds like a you problem then.
Well, just.
He's just looking at Professor now, and I'm sorry, Professor, he is a little bit of an ass.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's just kind of like looking at the professor now, like the professor is a particularly stubborn stain that's refusing to come out. I already answered your questions anyway. What you do with those replies are up to you.
Look, just it doesn't make sense. Things that are he like gestures U-shaped don't come from the before time.
Things that are me shaped?
Yes. That body plan didn't even exist for a couple million years after time started.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you've got your elder gods. You know, a few of those are from before the beginning of the universe as we know it, but they're all. He does like another sort of gesture of like tentacles and goopy things. Like they're all odd. They're all. They don't. I mean, they barely conform to the laws of this plane because they're not from here.
Mm, I see. Would it make you leave if I said that I lied and I'm not actually from before time?
No, because
Sleeper just
unfortunately, I believe that.
you just listed the reason why you don't believe me.
No, it's why I think there's something more complicated going on. Not that I don't believe you.
Hmm. Sleeper kind of like looks at the professor, looks at the boxes that the professor tripped over, teleporting to him, looks at the professor again. If I if I let this lie, will you continue bothering me about it?
If you what?
If I if I just leave right now, will you chase me down and continue bothering me about it?
Yes.
I could ask the boys to make you stop being so impolite.
Maybe.
But that won't stop me, won't it?
No.
He rubs like one hand over his face, and Professor hears him mutter, "I hate intellectuals."
I think he's going to cast Detect Thoughts. Um,
Oh,
which,
shoot.
which at least at first doesn't proc a. Hang on, that's not it. You can't tell until he. Come on, for Pete's sake, just spell it. Detect.
Professor is really doing dubious science right now, huh?
Oh, absolutely. Um,
This is so fucking dubious. I'm loving it. Sleeper won't if he finds out.
mhm.
If
Yeah. So at first, for surface thoughts, it just works automatically, and the target can't tell. If he tries for something deeper, you have to make a whiz save, and you will know that he tried.
I will say though, I will argue since this spell does require verbal, somatic, and I'm gonna nix the material piece because we
Mm,
don't really do it in
mm-hmm.
Draft House, but it does use verbal and somatic.
Uh
So
huh.
I would argue rolling stealth.
Yeah, I'll roll stealth. All right. Ugh. Do do do. All right, that's a 12.
Yeah, I'll roll percept. His passive is 11. You just make it.
Oh.
Congratulations, you got away with it. The surface level, his first surface level thoughts right now are very unflattering thoughts about you. He seems to be considering biting the bullet and just talking to you so that you stop going after him.
Mm,
Although you're not sure if he means that in a "I'm gonna tell him the truth" kind of way,
mm-hmm.
or I'm just gonna like talk at him and like whether or not it's true will be decided when I do it kind of way.
Yeah. Hmm.
But he does like as you do that, he does like kind of sigh and like following the surface level thoughts you gleaned off the top of his head, just goes, "Fine, I'll talk to you.
Okay.
But I reserve the right to refuse to answer certain questions."
All right.
If you can respect that, then I'll answer your questions in exchange for a promise that you won't continue chasing me down.
All right.
We have a deal then.
We have an agreement.
He pauses, notes the like wording, and then actually like snorts, and you can tell like his service level thoughts has are now very amused, and he's just like, "Ha ha ha ha." Does he think that I'm trying to trap him in a deal or something? As if I want to trap this guy in a deal.
uh. Listen, with a look like that, you gotta be careful.
Sleeper boys, you could not pay me to keep this guy.
uh,
Hmm. But yeah, Sleeper's just gonna like wave a hand then and kind of settle back. He doesn't make any move to like leave the attic. He seems like quite comfortable in his chosen spot already. So
mm-hmm.
guess this is where you're having your conversation, Prof.
Yeah. All right. So, if you're older than time, what do you remember from before that?
Well, I'm rolling something real quick.
Mm.
Let's see, what is his deception? Yeah,
Oh.
it's yeah,
Hmm.
that's what I thought.
I.
He kind of
Can I do a contesting insight?
yeah, sure.
Alright. Da da da. Yeah, that doesn't
You're
quite
a
get
bard.
it.
Yeah, you're a bard, so I'm guessing you also have a really high modifier.
Oh, for this? No. No, I have a high charisma. I have a low wisdom and intelligence.
Oh, buddy.
Yeah, I did not take insight. I did take expertise in investigation, but not in insight or perception, unfortunately. I have proficiency,
Hmm.
but that's it.
Well, the good thing is like detect thoughts is still up.
Yeah.
Right. So outwardly, he kind of like rolls his shoulders and he does not change at all. You can't like read him at all.
Mm.
And he just kind of like shrugs, rolls his shoulders, and it's just like, well, before time, there wasn't much of a world to begin with. So my memories of that time aren't very solid, let's put it like that.
Hmm. You weren't in a
And
Oh, go ahead.
I guess detect thoughts is like, see, here's the thing about service level thoughts though. If he's not like verbally thinking anything and just like, like thinking like vaguely like in terms of like sensation or image, like
Hmm.
how would you catch that?
Uh, I mean, I don't think it has to be like verbally or in your mind. Let me see.
Hmm.
When you
Yeah, it's like
cast.
just what's most on its mind in that moment. So I'm trying to like figure out like what professor's gonna be picking up.
Yeah, I'm trying to see its reasoning, its emotional state. Oh, no, those are more things if you actually do the whiz save thing. Uh, Let me see. Uh, okay, I don't think it's like strictly the like inner dialogue, but at the same time, like other more detailed things would be reserved for actually
The
doing the
deeper
full
probe.
spell. Yeah.
Yeah, I think in this case, like service level thoughts kind of like adjacent to what he just said, since this is the thing most on his mind at the moment. Like you get defeat, like there is like this vague like flashes of like nothing like fully concrete,
Mm,
and you do like because again like this is surface level. You haven't probed deeper, but you do get this a feeling that like there's more to it than that he's not telling you.
mm. Okay.
But you can tell he's telling the truth.
Okay. Um, he does still clarify because he has his own idea of what the time before time looked like, whether it's
Mm-hmm.
accurate or not. You didn't see any. There wasn't another fully realized world before that.
Not at that time, no.
Hmm. He looks just kind of like slightly confused, but in the sort of like, okay, that doesn't quite track with what he was thinking, but uh, he'll try to figure that out later.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah, and yeah.
so, are you So you're not from the material plane.
No.
Okay. And you are from the lower planes.
Notable pause.
Mmm.
Notable pause. His thoughts have become. His thoughts are kind of like seesawing between, well, yes, but also no.
Hmm. He just sort of.
And he's just.
Oh, you
Oh,
go
you
ahead.
first.
Oh. Alright, he tilts his head and he goes, like, originally?
Mm-mm. Well, God. Okay, I'll give Professor this. Like, the thought like crosses Sleeper's head. Like, I don't know this world's vocabulary and vernacular.
Mmm.
I don't reality's vernacular.
He kinda, like, uh, his brows furrow, and he is kind of pausing for a long time, so he's going to, like, clarify, like, uh, the. Wait, let me actually pull up a. I'm gonna forget the names if I'm not looking. Oh, that's not helpful. Uh, Anywhere like uh, Ashron, Akron, the Nine Hells, Gehenna, Hades, Carceri, the Abyss, Pandemonium, Shadowfell. I mean, you don't look like you're from the Shadowfell, but
Sleeper kind of like taps like his fingers on his knees, and Professor gets the idea that he doesn't recognize most of these names,
hmm. Well, what?
which is a weird thing in itself. The
Oh,
only one that
absolutely.
he visibly like, oh God, the only one that he visibly like knows is like the Nine Hells, which is,
Mm.
well, I mean, look at him.
Yeah, yeah.
So he kind of just raises a hand and wobbles it, just like, I came from another plane originally,
Mm.
but I believe I would be a dweller. I am dweller of the Nine Hells.
Hmm. All right. Um. Well, I suppose there are a lot of creatures that aren't originally from the Nine Hells, but do wind up spending most of their experience there. Hmm. In what manner did you come to be a dweller of the Nine Hells?
Okay, let me roll something. Real quick.
Hmm.
What's your whiz save?
Ooh. Uh. Uh.
Not professors, sleepers.
Ooh. What do you
Oh,
mean? Do you want me to roll
okay.
a whiz save?
No, I was looking for sleepers wisdom save because I wanted to see if I need to give him
Oh.
disadvantage on this.
Okay. That was a rhetorical question.
Yeah,
I thought you were
which
asking me.
he rolled a nat 20. So
Mm-hmm.
so Professor, you you, you don't get emotional states from detect thoughts,
Mm-hmm.
but you get the impression that you basically like stepped on a fucking live wire.
Mm-hmm.
And oh God, that's a 16.
Hmm.
That's a 16. 16 in deception.
Oh, well,
You can roll
that's
contesting inside.
yeah, yeah. Let's do that. I don't think this beats it. Let me do the math first. Yeah, no, that 13 will not beat it.
Yeah. So, you get the impression that he's stuck down a live wire. You still can't read him, though.
Mm, mm-hmm.
Like, outwardly, he's showing no tell as far as you can see.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just, like, not important.
He looks annoyed, but it doesn't seem like it was one of his priorities necessarily, so he's going to let that one go. I suppose. Hmm. Did you. And he's just kind of like scanning over him, uh, his appearance. Did you have a very high position in the Nine Hells?
The professor's really going for the hard questions. I'm not rolling a wit save for this. Instead, I'm rolling deception straight up.
Oh.
Oh, buddy, honey.
Oh. God, let's see if I can just please get higher. Why is it? I still keep getting I keep getting a 13. That's not fair.
This is so funny because he's rolling like shit, but Professor is somehow like rolling worse.
He's just stupid.
Yeah, so Professor, you still can't read him worth a damn. But you do know, like, at least from the detect thoughts, that again, like, this part, like, a reaction in the set,
Mm-hmm.
like, there's like the thoughts are incomprehensible for a second because they're running together so fast.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's just immediately like he's just immediately thinking like you hear him think I'm not telling him that, and he opens his mouth and says, "No, I had no particular position."
Huh. Alright. He's internally marking that down as a yes. um, uh, let me think. What kind of, hmm, you don't, you don't seem to know a whole lot about the other planes, but that doesn't mean. What's your, knowledge of the, universe at large? Beyond,
Mm,
here.
Sleeper kind of shrugs. I have been asleep for a while.
How long have you been asleep?
I'm not quite so sure myself. Centuries perhaps. I'm not sure. And he gives another shrug.
Hmm. Professor doesn't
Uh,
seem bothered by that figure.
yeah, Sleeper kind of assumed that the professor was some kind of non-mortal with how offended he was that Sleeper was older than time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he just kind of shrugs, and this time like he is telling the truth. He's just like, I have only the barest basic. Uh, I only have the barest of knowledge about this world.
Hmm. You've only been awake a short time? What, when they found you?
No, I was awoken because they found me.
Oh. Oh, you really haven't been
Yes,
awake very long.
yes, the group dragged me kicking and screaming.
Huh. I would think that after sleeping that long, one would want to wake up.
Sleeper kind of looks at the professor and goes, "Well, if I didn't want to sleep, then I wouldn't be sleeping for this long, no?"
Well, people can be made to sleep.
Oh, it was nothing like that, I can assure you.
Hmm. Interesting.
The professor is so being so unethical right now. I love him.
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely.
I love him. I love him. He has no moral code right now.
He's terrible. um.
Will that be all then?
Hmm. Hmm.
I would say I'm enjoying how much like Sleeper is answering Professor's questions without actually like giving him anything of substance to work with.
Yeah. Why here? Why were they able to find you here?
Oh, that's easy. There was a demon, a legend in town. I wasn't the I wasn't the creature in question that they were looking for, but they found me first before the other one.
Alright, but why were you in this location to begin with? Why choose to sleep here?
In this house.
No, no, this continent, this city. Well, it probably wasn't a city back then. Why this
There
planet?
were no. Why not?
Well, it's a bit out of the way.
Yes, and would that not benefit me when all I want to do is sleep?
Hmm, I suppose.
Although, again, I'm trying to figure out what your detect thoughts are picking up.
Mm-hmm.
I think you get. It's not like I had a choice,
Hmm. Yeah,
but
that's.
I'm also looking at the duration and the fact that this only lasts for 1 minute.
Oh, yeah, this could be the last one you give me.
Yeah, I think like I'm gonna say a minute has passed and it
Mm.
fizzles out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Hmm. Your name isn't Sleeper.
Get to roll deception again.
Ah, oh my goodness. Lippy, please, please have a good insight, Professor. No!
Oh, oh.
No! Oh, you got a good roll this time
Sleeper,
anyway.
yeah, Sleeper without a beat goes, of course it's my name. And as far as you can tell, he seems to be telling the truth. You can't read him worth a damn. Like this, again, he seems to be telling the truth, but this means nothing considering that you have confirmation that he's lied to your face and you couldn't tell like 2 times before this.
Yeah, yeah. He, like, looks a little bit frustrated. Look, I thought the agreement was that you would answer my questions truthfully or not at all.
He kind of like huffs and looks at Professor. And it's just, it is the name I want to be used and called by when I'm here. Does that not make it my name then? And his tone is just daring the professor to disagree.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I suppose it does. Were you known previously by a name that I might recognize?
He does like actually think on this before he says no. But this time he does sound a little like uncertain.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that like you can tell he sounds uncertain definitely does mean that he's not like making the effort to hide it from you. He's not sure.
Mm-hmm. I do have rather extensive knowledge of other planes and other worlds, more than most who live here.
Hmm. Well, perhaps you would recognize it, perhaps you wouldn't. It doesn't really make much of a difference because I'm not giving you that name.
Hmm. All right.
And before you go to the others for it, they don't know my name either.
Oh, I didn't think they did. Um,
I love a part of Sleeper being like, okay, now I'm going to tell one of them my name out of fucking spite. Love that for him, actually.
mm. Hmm. So, if I were to, uh, if I were to take your description and cast legend lore, do you have any idea of what I might learn?
God, let me look up legend lore.
I
Da-da-da-da.
think I can put it in the chat. Yes.
See, here is the thing though. Can it pull from different realities?
Um. Uh.
Like,
Forgotten stories or
like
even secret lore that has never been widely known. I.
yeah, that's the thing. Cause like, let's say like, okay, as an example,
It
let's
has to
say
be
the
of
professor.
legendary importance, though.
Yeah. Let's say like Professor Legend Lord say, I'm trying to think of any characters that got isekai here. Moria.
Mm-hmm.
Like, would it come up with anything? Moria isn't from this reality at all. Like,
Uh.
not even a different world. It's a different reality.
Oh, I know. I think. I think it wouldn't, but not because she's an isekai, but only because she's not like legendary in the metropolis.
No, it's because he would have legendary importance
Yeah.
in another reality, which is
Yeah.
why I'm like, would Professor get it?
I think it would work because of the bit about like secret lore that has never been widely known. Like that's the sort of thing that a DM could give you that's useless because it's describing somebody from a different like dimension
I
because
think
you.
I could give you. All right, I think I've got it. I think I can give you something.
Hmm.
I think I could give Professor something if he cast it, but I'm looking at that line where the more information you already have about the more precise and detailed the information you receive is. And
Oh, absolutely.
considering Professor has like nil right now, I imagine it would be like an Undertale checkbox if you know what that is.
Uh
You know when you check a monster in Undertale and you get like a little bit of flavor.
oh, yes. Yeah. No, I think you're
I
right. I
think
think you're right.
Yeah, I think Professor would get that, like enough to get to be a star.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'll bet I'm also gonna roll Arcana here to see if Sleeper even knows his spell.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have not been rolling them for all of them, but for this one specifically, I think yeah, he does know legend lore, and he kind of like thinks of it on it for a moment and just shrugs like, I have no idea.
Mm. Well, uh, man, Professor really wants to try, so he's going to um,
And is he really gonna cast a legendary right here, right now?
he is, but he can't cast it himself. He has to use an item. So, he
Yeah,
just
I think like with material items that have like actual costs, you can't like use an arcane focus for those.
uh, no, the item specifically, like, its claim to fame is that it can cast legend lore.
Oh, nuts.
It's a sentient sword.
Oh my god.
That's what he does.
Wait, is it the sentient sword from that like sword and the stone thing with Leo
Yes,
and like
yes, it
Professor
is.
and oh my
They
god.
gave it to Professor.
Oh my god, why did they give it to the professor? He's gonna abuse this so bad.
Yeah, so he puts a hand up, um, like, all right, look, I have to use a thing to cast it because I can't just. I don't actually know the spell myself, but I have a sword that can cast. So I'm about to pull a sword, but I'm not going to hit you with it. Um,
And Sleeper just kind of looks at the professor like, are you really going to cast Legend Lore on me right now?
yes. So
He kind of like he kind of looks like he's about to get worked up because that's like his fucking private business. But then like Professor kind of like visibly see him sag like in exhaustion, like all the steam has left him, and he's just like, you know what, I don't care. Just get it over with so I can go back to sleep.
mm-hmm. Well,
Which is not a great feeling because it's less that he decided not to get mad at you, and more like a depressed guy is just like, I'm too depressed to deal with this.
yeah, and honestly, given the horrid insights Professor has been rolling, I don't think he catches that.
Yeah, I'm
He
God,
might
Professor.
he might get it in hindsight, but like, not right now.
Yeah, I just think not right now.
Yeah,
God, I hate that Professor's getting rewarded for this behavior.
he knows he's being an ass. Um, this is a look that he does not allow just anybody to see. Uh, this is there's a reason he doesn't do this in front of certain people, but he does take the sword of infinite lore out of his pocket, and he kind of like makes a face at it. As since he is holding the hilt, it is talking to him in his mind. Um,
What is the sword saying? Listeners would like to know.
um, it it's like it's a mix of like curious and annoyed because like the sword loves like values knowledge above all else, but also Professor's method is not very ethical.
Like, not to sugarcoat it, but Professor basically harassed Sleeper until Sleeper, like, kind of just gave up.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Like this is straight up harassment.
yeah, yeah. This is not an example you should follow.
Disclaimer to the audience: do not repeat this at home.
No.
So I'm just imagining the sword at like Professor being like, I'm not gonna be fucking like involved in this.
It's more like it's more like we are gonna have a talk later about your like research methods. This is not how we should go about things. And the professor, let's see, the professor casts legend lore without using any spell slots or components. The ability can only be restored when lore is allowed to rest in the light of a full moon for a long rest. So this is costly. He can only
Yeah.
do it.
God, he really wants to know, huh?
He does. So he casts it, and it does take 10 minutes to cast.
Yeah,
So he's
Zebra just kind of looks at like at Professor Casting and he's just, I don't have to be here for this and the questioning is over, correct?
technically
Alright. Goodbye. And he's going to stand up and leave the attic.
fair enough.
Yeah. He is tired and Professor God, I was actually kind he it was a good thing, like him like being annoyed at Professor and putting up resistance at all
Mm,
was probably like most animated he's been in a while.
mm,
But the energy has gone out of him. He's too tired.
yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that's his boy. He has severe depression.
Oh yeah.
Yep. So he leaves and now I have to figure out how the fuck to do Legend Lore.
Yeah.
I suppose like is Professor like naming him a sleeper or describing him?
Um. Mm, he will describe him. And he will mention that he is currently known as Seeker. Sleeper. Like,
Yeah, I am looking up examples of Legend Lore as we speak. Give me a second.
yeah, yeah. Like, it doesn't.
Okay,
Oh,
this is what I found. I found like examples.
mm. Oh, yeah, that's in the spell description.
Ooh,
Or
all right,
at least the first one is.
all right. Let me write this down real quick. Give me a moment.
Yeah, no problem. But yeah, the sword's just like berating him, like, you can't just do that. You're being very rude.
Go get him, Laura.
Yeah.
God, he has so many fucking titles. I'm not putting all this down.
That's okay. It's
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to do this. Like for yeah.
Oh yeah. While you're doing that, I'm just gonna mention, because you know this, but for the audience's sake, this might get discussed later. But the reason that Professor is upset about the idea of being from before time is couched in some is from some sort of cultural ideas from the time czars, because the idea of being from before time is like the one thing that time czars can't top, and so they kind of resent anyone, mortal god, who can make that claim. Professor knows that beings like that exist, but time czars hate gods and the like on principle anyway. There's a lot of bad blood in their early history. So, yeah, Professor's got some internal, like, bullshit he needs to unlearn. But in the meantime, he's being very rude to somebody who happened to ping that particular prejudice.
Yeah. God, I'm trying so hard right now. I'm sorry for the wait, Oatmeal.
Oh, no, that's fine. That's fine. So, yeah.
Okay, I'm going for the single line. I think like
Mm,
this one.
yeah, that's fine. After all, we talked about how he doesn't have a lot to go off of. So it makes sense that the result is less than if he had.
Yeah, I think this is as good as I'm gonna get it.
Mm,
I don't think I can go into any big personal detail here.
yeah. This is fair. Okay, so it is said that the Dark Emperor, first fallen, he who plays with fate, king of hell, and chaos incarnate, is known for his power and authority over all the denizens in the hells. Uh huh.
I I swear, it's because it's specifically drawing from legend. So I was literally like sitting here like I can't give any personal details because if we're talking legends,
No, this is perfect. This tells Professor that he was lying about some particular things. Um,
yeah, This, well, he sure looked at the professor right, and when I have no position of authority.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Professor, I think, just like uh lowers the sword and just like curses in Celestial. And then he's gonna put the sword away and start stacking the boxes again.
Yeah.
Cleaning up the mess he made.
Yeah, with and downstairs, Sleeper has gone back to the rafters, and he kind of like his ears kind of twitch as he hears the thump thump of like Professor presumably like cleaning up the boxes,
Hmm.
and he kind of like reaches into his coat and takes out a necklace, but no, it's not a necklace. It's a ring on a chain,
Hmm.
a wedding ring on a chain. And he kind of looks at it for a moment, then sighs, tucks it back into his coat, puts a hand over his chest where the ring would be, and curls up again to go to sleep.
No. All right, and that's where we're gonna leave them.
Whee!
Woohoo! Oh, this went even better than I thought.
I'm glad.
Their professor is terrible. And Sleeper is a liar.
Yeah,
uh,
yeah.
but
Goodness
hey,
gracious.
yeah, but hey, at least we got them to interact because it was very possible that oh, it's so hard to engage Sleeper.
It is. I swear to God that he'll get better about it, but also,
Yeah, yeah. All right, okay. Thank you, everybody, for listening. We will bid you a good time zone. Bye.
yay!